Hey y'all. So, I'm gonna show you all the ritual that was done tonight. I'm looking real rough, so I'm not gonna put my face back on the camera. But I saved everything that I found and I just want to show it to you. Um, so just bear with me so I can open it up and show it to you. Let's see, can I give you the name of the website? Here is the website where I found the information. Actually, let me go back to the actual website so I can give you all the name and you can do your own research. Okay? The website is called Witches Lore. Okay, you see that? And I'm not sure if I hadn't read through everything, but tonight's show was definitely a ritual. And so I'm going to get right into it and explain to you all why, how I know this, what proof do I have, and I'm going to let you see it for yourself. Okay? So, hold on. Hey, sis. Who's this saying, hey, sis? Watts 515. Hello. How are you? Okay, photos. There we go. Okay, here we go. So, tonight, the show was all about Beyonce and Rihanna. Okay? Rihanna won the Vanguard Award, the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award. She's one of the youngest people to win that award. If I'm not mistaken, she's 27 or 28. Okay? And I saw how emotional everyone was during the whole awards. I mean, people were crying and in tears every time someone finished performing. So I said, you know what? It's more going on than what they're showing us. So I said, I'm just going to sit here and watch it because I want to have proof before I say anything. One of the first things I noticed throughout the show was when Ariana Grande came out with Nicki Minaj, and my daughter came to me and said, Mama, did you just see that? I said, what was it? She said they took those boys' heads. They grabbed the guys' heads and mashed their heads into their crotch. And she said, look like Ariana Grande didn't want to do it. She said, but Nicki Minaj looked like she wanted to do it. She didn't care. And for my 14-year-old daughter to notice that and say that, it bothered her. And it should bother other people too, and parents. And so, I was like, well, the only reason why I let her watch it is because I'm teaching her how to see the enemy and what he's doing. So here we go. So let me get into reading this. And for those of you who didn't see the show, every time I get to a part that's relevant that happened in the show, I'm going to tell you what happened in the show, okay? And I got some pictures too, so I don't want you all to be bored. But it's some good information, so you shouldn't be. Okay. Magic is the practice of having an intention. And this is what I'm looking up. I looked up goddess magic since I found out that the awards was going to be all about the women tonight. So I looked up goddess magic, okay? And this is what I found. Magic is the practice of having an intention and bringing that intention into reality through the manipulation of energies. People are energies. We are energies, okay? With practice, and your audience is where you get your energy. That's where the energy manipulation comes from. With practice, magic becomes stronger and more powerful. Did you hear that? With practice, magic becomes more powerful. Remember Beyonce caused the lights to go out at the last Super Bowl? She's a practicing witch, and she's been practicing for a really long time. So she is more powerful than some of the new girls who just came in. Okay. It says, it is the blending of energies from the other world and the earthly realm. The areas of normal possibilities are transcended, and the magic practitioner becomes the emissary of energy and an ongoing pupil of possibilities. If you have the traits of intelligence, determination, application, an irrepressible will, and a cautious outlook, discipline, logic, and honesty, you are ready to make magic. Okay, it says there will be those who understand and accept and those who don't. Initiates of magic have an understanding and conviction and are committed to the practice of magic. There are adepts and charlatans. Magic also works with the natural energies of nature and transcends the normal possibilities of mortals. You hear that? That's why Beyonce said when Sasha Fierce came into her, she was able to do things she couldn't normally do. So those are the normal possibilities of mortals. So now she has like a godlike ability when she performs. And actually, while she was performing, up behind her head on the screen, they put something up there, and I couldn't see what it was. And when I finally saw it come back into view of the camera, it said, "God is God and I am not." So that was something Beyonce wanted the people to know. Don't you find that interesting? Especially after reading what I just read. So keep listening. The beginning of magic is to first understand yourself as you learn to work with the four elements: water, earth, air, and fire. This is why in Beyonce's Lemonade visual album, she began with water, then she went to earth. She had a couple of scenes of air and a few scenes of fire. She did the same thing tonight on her performances. This is her using the four elements in ritual magic. It says our higher selves, our souls, are influenced by the cycles of the sun, moon, and the stars on a deep spiritual level. We all have the ability to tap into the cosmic energy and to be infused with the universal life force. By tapping into this energy, hold on. Okay, we become, I'm up at the top. Okay, by tapping into this energy, we become connected to the cosmos and imbue the energy, allowing it to permeate every aspect of our being. As a white witch, you will be drawing an ancient wisdom and power and be learning how to practice rituals. By doing this, you will be entering into an altered state of consciousness. Y'all hear that? That's why they look like they be checked out, because they're experiencing an altered state of consciousness. This is what happens in rituals. It says, as you draw on the cumulative powers of ancient magic, the source of power can be accessed through meditation, the use of crystals, amulets, and energy harnessing rituals. So they have the stylists give them some crystal earrings, and Beyonce did have on crystal earrings. The stylist will give them an amulet to wear, and they will harness the energy when they come out on stage and start begging you to give them your energy. They said, I need your energy. Give me your energy. Clap, stand up, yell. That's what that really is. It says, for magic and healing, trust your intuition and embark on what is referred to as inner plane teaching. For the practice of magic, you focus and direct your inner powers and energies, thoughts and desires, and bring them to reality. Be given loving and altruistic with the practice of magic. By sending out positive magical energies, the love and harmony of the earth and the cosmos are increased. Now, Nicki Minaj, when she got through doing all of that disrespectful stuff on TV, all of that it was just too much. We shouldn't see a man head down between her legs on TV. But anyway, when she finished doing all of that, she did exactly what this says. She got up there and talked about how to be positive, and, you know, girl power type thing. And that's why I'm working with Ariana Grande. I'm so glad to be working with her. She said that. And then Alicia Keys went up there and performed a part of her ritual where she read a poem. I think she freestyled the poem. She said the poem. It was really strange and weird. I tried to block it out, to be honest with you, because I knew it was a spell, so I didn't pay attention to it. But when she finished saying the poem, she began to say that she wanted to send love out to the world, and and she talked about us just all being positive and loving each other, and you know those are really good things. She talked about harmony on earth. But if you all are doing rituals and you're not letting the people know who's watching, and they just getting a good show, you're just entertaining them, that's not positive. That's not love. That's wrong. Then after that, what is her name? Rihanna comes out, and Rihanna gave her speech, and she said the same thing. She said, I just want all women to feel love. You know, I have helped many people. And she said, and what I do, it doesn't just bring me money, you know, but it helps my family. And she talked about her fans, and she didn't say anything about God. She talked about everything I just read to you, but nothing about God. Okay, let me go on. It says, it says, it is like filling a cauldron with love. Cauldron, those are the large black pots that witches use to cook their brews. It says cauldron with love, magic, and positive energy until it overflows. Okay, let me go to the next one. When using magic, take only as much as you need at one time. Always practice benign magic with the energy of love. Work with light and white magic. Any spells sent to harm will rebound on you 3 times over. When using magic, the boundaries of possibilities are extended. With constructive magic, you can draw to you luck, love, healing, and financial stability. When making magic, always use candles and incense. And see, y'all, we don't know what it smells like in there, but they could have the incense back in their dressing rooms. And when they come out on stage, a lot of time they have the candles on the stage. And they did that tonight. It says, have magical thoughts with a defined intention. This is the beginning of turning your magical thoughts into reality. When making magic on behalf of others, be sure to charge a fee. So this is why we have to pay to get in and watch these people do this. By charging a fee, it shows that you and the recipient of the magic value it. You hear that? It shows how much you value the magic when you pay a fee to get in. It says magic works best when there is a particular need and a real emotion. Have an intention and determination on an earthly level. Your life can be enhanced by exuding pure energy and shaping your life with your own inner power and belief. Now, I'm going to go to the living room because I don't want to wake my baby up. I'm trying to whisper. So y'all give me 1 second to go to my living room and we can finish this. Y'all are so patient. I appreciate you all being so patient. Okay, cool. Here we go. Let me get back on the right page. I think we were on this one. Yeah, this is the one we're on. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Inner plane, cauldron. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is where we were. Thank you all for being patient with me. Okay. I don't remember exactly where I left off. So I'm just going to pick back up reading. It says charging a fee shows that you and the recipient of magic value it. Magic works best when there's a particular need and real emotion. Have an intention and determination on an earthly level. Your life can be enhanced by exuding pure energy and shaping your life with your own inner power and belief. This power emanates from the God and Goddess energy source that is available within all of us. The magic energies you work with are to be molded to suit you and the way you work. It is about what works for you and enhances your inner knowing, individuality, and spirituality. Always apply the laws of witchcraft, one of which is to do no harm to any individual or group, and bear in mind the threefold law of witchcraft, which is that everything that you do, good, bad, will come back to you 3 times as strong. Successful magic comes from the practitioner who takes responsibility for their actions, always works from light. With the practice of magic comes heightened psychic abilities that seem to spontaneously surface over time. Now let me say this. She talked about how she talked about in Lemonade. She talked about how she had this just sixth sense thing where she knew he was cheating on her. Do you all remember that? She talked about that. And so that was just proof. If you didn't watch Lemonade, go watch the visual album. And while you hear me reading this, since you didn't heard this now, when you watch the visual album, you're going to be like, oh my God, Campson was right. It is very blatant, and they are not hiding anymore. So let me go on. Witchcraft originated in Paleolithic era, a time when there was no divide between nature and human beings. Every part of the earth was seen as containing the life force. Prehistoric witchcraft was used in the form of chants, cave painting, and dance. Oh, chanting and dancing. Isn't that what award shows are all about? Singing and dancing, which are really chants. So they're not singing, it's chants. Okay. Offerings were given to the horn god and the mistress of the herbs. These rites continue among the Inuits and the Lapps of North Scandinavia. Painted on cave walls in the Pyrenees is the figure of a man painted in black wearing animal skins. This is said to be an image of one of the earliest forms of shaman. He is depicted with the eyes of an owl, the feet of a human, the antlers and ears of a stag, the tail of a horse, and the paws of a lion. Doesn't that sound much like what the book of Revelation speaks of? It does to me. Oh, I'm glad you all were watching. Yes, her videos are very weird, Southern Belle, and I'm explaining to you why they are weird, and I'm giving you the exact ritual that she's doing. Okay, let me keep reading. It says, I'm going to skip down just a little bit. During the Neolithic period, which lasted 2,000 years from 75,000 BC, the god of vegetation, corn, winter, and death, offered himself as a sacrifice each year during the cutting down of corn. He was then reborn during the winter solstice as the sun god. Shrines to the goddess associated with the 3 phases of the moon, waxing, full, and waning, were built during the Neolithic period. The moon offered the first ways by which time was calculated. And that's not true because the sun actually did. But because they worship the moon in witchcraft, and it's a goddess worship, moon is kind of considered feminine energy. So this is why they're saying this. Because the moon was reborn each month, it was said that she, the moon, gave birth to her daughter each month and mirrored the mother carrying a child in her womb. Moon magic has been and still is used for fertility and love, usually carried out during the waxing moon. Now, I didn't check and see which moon we had tonight, but I bet you it was the waxing moon. Somebody might want to go check that when we finish this video. It says over the scent and lead and comment and let me know if you find it. Over the centuries, there have been high-ranking practitioners of magic, including royalty and popes. A surprisingly tolerant attitude was adopted where there were concerned. In the English Midlands, there were witches known as Midland water witches. Magic, including royalty and popes, a surprisingly tolerant attitude was adopted. Okay, I just read that part. Let me skip down. They originally descended from the Netherlands, and magical knowledge was passed down from generation to generation. Now, Beyonce always brags about her heritage and her generation and her ancestors, and her mom being Creole and her dad being from Alabama, and how that makes a Texas Bama. Like, she says that, and this is what she means. This is what she's talking about. The witchcraft that has been passed down to her through generations. She may not even know everything about this. It says a special ritual was practiced by the water people. A triple magical square was constructed out of wood, with each square conjoined by 4 lines. This was known as the mill. Only the women were allowed to enter the sacred space. Look, y'all. When they perform tonight, they perform inside a triple magical square. Go back and look at it. If you can rewind yours, rewind it. You're going to see a triple square, but it was more shaped like an octagon, and there was 3 of them. Okay? And all of them had to perform in that sacred space. And if you were giving an award, they had you stand somewhere else. But notice where they stand. They will always have them standing in some type of magical square or ritual square. It says only the women were allowed to enter the sacred space. This was overseen by a senior female water witch. The master, who was the chief male, called upon the entity to assist in the ritual. Wicca is one of the major forms of witchcraft today. Although many of the rituals are steeped in ancient traditions, there is certain formality associated with it, with covens or gatherings practicing rituals and invoking the goddess energy. It is accepted in magic circles that the goddess is the archetype of the power of the feminine principle, and any goddess invoked is a representation of particular qualities. Her representative is the high priestess, and the consort of the goddess is the horn god. His representative is the high priest. The high priest initiates the female members, and the high priestess the male members. Okay, so they're having, the way you get initiated usually is by sex. And yes, the upside down cross was proof of what I'm saying to you now. It is so blatant. Yes, Rihanna is involved in it. It's more so heritage for her also. Most people in the islands are really good with things like this. This is normal to them. Doing magic is something that they're born into. So yeah, definitely. And that's why they uplifted her so much. That's why they awarded her. And you can also tell because Rihanna went and got I think it was Isis tattooed on her. It was Isis or Ashtoreth. She went and got Ashtoreth or Isis tattooed on her. That's proof of these rituals right here. Okay, so let me go to the next one. It's finna get really good, y'all, because I'm finna get into the outfits that they wear, and you go see why they pick out their dresses and everything. Okay, another type of witchcraft that has been practiced. Let's see, make sure y'all can see. Another type of witchcraft that has been practiced since the early 1970s is taken from the Italian witches who worship Diana as a triple goddess of the moon. Other groups and covens have been formed, so with some with a structured learning system and others who create their own rituals, ceremonies, and spells, and ensue other forms of witchcraft. In some magic groups and covens, the goddess is said to have greater significance and to be more powerful than her male counterpart. Tonight, that's what it was all about. They made Rihanna seem more powerful than Drake, which is her counterpart. And they even used them at the very end of the award show. excuse me, I mean the ritual ceremony. They use them at the very end because it says right here that you have to have a male counterpart. She was the only one who had a male counterpart, and that is also why they used them at the very end of the show to complete the ceremony. Let me go on. It says, while others accept them as equals, the god is seen as the earth or moon deity, ruler of the summer month. And this is why Drake did the summer 16. That's why he did that. You hear that? The ruler of the summer month. Okay? The god seen as the sun or corn god, ruler of the winter and lord of the underworld after his demise. For many, the path of solitary which holds more allure than being a part of any type of gathering. They choose to practice alone, and many solitary witches possess exceptional psychic and magical powers. Now, Beyonce in Lemonade talked about spending a lot of time by herself down in the basement. She talked about plugging her menses with scripture, with sheets pulled out of the Bible, like really witchcraft stuff. These witches create an altar and a sacred space for themselves and devise their own type of ritual and magic. In a way, they are following in the footsteps of the old wise women who worked with herbs and healing centuries ago. Oh, so do y'all remember in the Beyonce Lemonade visual album, she talked about the older women and passing something down to her. She even showed what's the lady name that did those great poems. It began with an M. I think she passed away not too long ago. And she got one called Black Woman Rise or something like that. Well, anyway, Beyonce showed the older generations passing something down to them. Go back, when you go back and watch that visual album and watch all of Beyonce's old videos, you are going to see everything that I'm reading to you now. That just came back to me. I even remember Beyonce running through a field in this new video. So, okay, let me keep reading. It's more to uncover. It says, these witches create an altar, sacred space. They devise their own type of ritual and magic. Oh, it was called 7-Eleven. Go and watch that 7-Eleven video. That right there showed her personal altar at her house. You go check that out after we finish with this video. Please don't leave. It says, these witches are often very knowledgeable regarding the healing power of herbs and plants and often gifted spellcasters. So Beyonce's songs are actually spells. She knows she has this ability. She knows how long she's been practicing this. She wished she could just come out and tell us, but she won't. Because Satan always wants to stay in the darkness while he pretends to be light. It says they also have an innate knowledge of astral projection and otherworldly encounters. The solitary witch, while formulating many of their own spells, gather a selection of magic from many and varied traditions. If a witch is adept at potions and brews, they are referred to as kitchen witches. Think back to your own grandmother. I wonder how many of us had a grandmother who was a secret witch. No, I don't. You know what? No, my grandmother could have been a witch. Maya Angelou. Thank you, girl. Thank you, Kataya. That's it. Sure did. And that's what Maya Angelou was, a witch. You know, and witch don't always mean long hat, long ugly nose, mole, and you do evil. Some people get into this hoping to do good, you know? Yep, she's a witch. For many, the path of the solitary witch holds more allure than being a part of any type of gathering. They choose to practice alone, and many solitary witches possess exceptional psychic and magical powers. I just read this one. Let me go to the next one. Okay. When spell casting, possibly to bring love into your life or someone else's life, you focus on increasing love for all beings. This way, love in various forms can be manifested into yours or someone else's life. If you are attempting to attract one person in particular, you work with the proviso that this will be right for both of you and that you are both willing participants. The best way to approach magic is with one foot in the magical world and one foot on the earthly plane. Every spell works from the same premise. You will be channeling the life force inherent in all forms of existence. This is why one minute we'll see Beyonce, y'all, and she'll look normal, and the next second you'll look at her and you can see the demon. This is why that's happening, because she's channeling between both realms. It says when you practice magic, you can invoke the god or goddess energy or ask for the assistance of angels to be used both for protection and as channels for healing and positive energies. Now, Beyonce's dress. Let me see if I could go to her dress for you all. I don't want to lose my spot. Let me show you her dress. Here we go. This was her dress. Doesn't that look like an angel or something? It does to me. If I wanted to channel and try to invoke an angel, that is what I would choose to wear. Look at those eyes. When I tell you she be checked out sometimes, she be checked out. I think I was here. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so let me finish reading here. Okay. So, okay, it says the position of the altar represents the realm of spirit. It is also a good idea to cleanse your altar with incense before you begin any spell casting. You can create a magic circle in which you can work by scattering dried lavender or dried rose petals in a circle around your altar. So y'all, when the men take the roses and put them in the hotel room for you and stuff, that's really a ritual. And this is where that really came from, okay? So when we see the videos and we see them with the flowers all around them in a circle, that's really a ritual. It says leaving enough space for you to work within. When you work within your circle, you can call upon the powerful gods or goddesses to enhance your spell casting for all forms of magic. Call upon Kali, An, Ishtar, Yoruba, Isis, or Diana. Wow. Yes, warlocks are definitely men. There is a sacred number in magic procedures. Create a triple circle of power and protection. This represents the three aspects of the moon, maiden, mother, and crone. You create the triple circle of power and protection by walking around your sacred space 3 times clockwise, holding a stick of incense, a magic wand, or a crystal. Now, they can do this just holding their microphone. You know, the microphone can be their magic wand because it's what they say their spells on. When your spells and rituals are completed, you can close the circle by reversing the circle by walking around 3 times clockwise, holding an incense, magic wand, or crystal. To complete this, all candles should be put out. Okay, now let me say this. At the end of Beyonce's performance, all of the fire, which we could say are candles, because candles have fire burning on the wick, they were all put out, just like this said. So that was definitely a ritual. Yes, Jay-Z is a very high warlock. He may even be to the level of a druid by now, because he's been practicing for a really long time. Okay. It says, I'm going to jump down to preparing the mind, the second paragraph. Preparing the mind for magic work is necessary before beginning any spell casting. When practicing magic, you are working with the right hemisphere of the brain, as this controls intuition and psychic awareness. It is necessary to first meditate and to place yourself in an altered state of consciousness, thus freeing the intuitive side, making you more ready to connect with the cosmos. You are then in a state of mind where energies can glow between dimensions. When creating and working within a sacred space, you are in fact shutting out the everyday world and working within magical energies. Before you begin, you may want to invoke 4 angels of protection to stand at the four corners of your sacred circle. If you are feeling unwell, agitated, or tired, you can step within your magic circle to energize yourself and put yourself into a state of peace and calm. Another way to induce calm is to stand and look at the full moon and breathe in its life affirming energy. You are inhaling the moonlight. The next chapter will be Gods and Goddesses of Magic. Okay. There's an ancient inscription, as above, so below, meaning that by releasing magical intentions into the cosmos, this will then be reflected to you magically. For centuries, gods and goddesses have been called upon to influence in some form. Spirits and angels can also be called upon. Did you hear that? Spirits and angels. So demonic spirits can definitely be called upon at these award shows, and they can definitely come home with you. So if you have been to these award shows, make sure that you pray over yourself when you leave and before you enter into your home. Plead the blood of Jesus Christ over your home, so that you will not bring anything into the house, because spirits can't just come in your house if you are a believer. They have to be invited in. When I was listening to John Todd, if you have never heard of John Todd, look him up when I get through. But I was listening to John Todd, and he worked for the record labels. And he asked him, are you all still doing spells over the music? And they were like, of course. We call up the witches and the druids to cast the spells over every CD, every album, so that everywhere that album goes, whatever spirit was conjured up will follow. And he said the reason we did this was because those stupid Christians, we had no other way to get those Christians to put curses on them and demons in their home, so we guess we'll let them do it to themselves. So they pray over all music, the witches do. Call up spirits, gods and goddesses and angels, but I'm thinking they probably only call up spirits to put on the masses, okay? And that's what we are to the elite. We are just like cattle to them. So if the demons want somebody to be in, of course the elite is going to send them to us. It says the energies of the goddess can be invoked to amplify the witch's divine energy, helping the witch to slip into an altered state of consciousness. The gods can be called upon to offer protection during ritual practice. There are many gods and goddesses that can be called upon to exude their particular energies during ritual magic. Aphrodite, being one, has a particular potent energy associated with romance and love. Okay, and that they definitely had that going on tonight between Drake and Rihanna. Okay, Artemis, and between Kanye and Kim. So this was definitely a major ritual, and Kanye and Kim were a very important couple tonight for this particular ceremony. Artemis, they call upon Artemis, the sister of Apollo. With her, you can send your love, magic further afield to draw you an unknown admirer. Freya can be invoked for love, sexuality, and for astral projection, and Venus can be evoked if there is difficulty within a relationship and a couple requires assistance. Okay, let's go to the next one. So these just go through. Now, this is what I want to tell you on and trip you out. I'm not going to read every one of these. Like I said, I'm going to save this video. You can go back and read them for yourself. Just pause it. But I'm just going to skip and read the ones that they did tonight that I noticed, okay? And like I told you, Rihanna having that goddess tattooed on her. So everywhere she goes, that goddess and that energy of that goddess goes with her. And they know that. And that's what makes Rihanna valuable to the elite right now. Okay, here's Kylie. Do you all remember Beyonce's 7-Eleven video? That's who she was calling up, channeling. She was channeling Kali in that video. Kali is the dark side of the Hindu mother goddess. Invoke her for magic if you are feeling fearful. She offers protection and regeneration. At that point in time in Beyonce's life, she was feeling fearful. The elevator situation had happened. We don't know what was really going on with that. And then she came out with 7-Eleven, and she hadn't even worked on the album, just dropped that one song because it was a ritual. Look at the formation she had her body in the beginning of the video. And so when she ran out on the stage, when she ran out on the balcony of her home, the dance that she was doing, that's called the dance of death. Just Google dance of death and you will watch a Hindu Indian lady perform that dance with the goddess. Okay? So I wanted to make sure I share that. And let's see, let me go to the next one. I'm just letting it stay on the screen just long enough so when I post this, you all can go back and read it if you would like to study a little more. But I'm going to go to the next one that is important for tonight between Beyonce and Jay-Z. Oh, and for those of you that say Thoth is actually an ancient Egyptian god of the moon and wisdom. Invoke him for any magic associated with intellectual pursuits, wisdom, and study or examinations. So now they have us saying the word Thoth, not even knowing that that's an Egyptian god. So that's to have young people calling on a god that they don't even know they calling on by using that word. They do that a lot too. Okay, let's see. Candles, the elements. I talked about the 4 elements. I told you all how they did the 4 elements and how they were dressed and everything with the colors that they wear. Beyonce definitely did all of these elements tonight in her performance. I'm sure you'll be able to go back and watch that. Now, let me tell you something about her and Jay-Z. When I clicked on this one, I was just so amazed. In Beyonce's performance, one of her performances, the one side of her face was blue and the other side of her face was red. And then the blue and red lights started flashing. And I said, I was trying to remember what ritual that was. Well, here it is right here. This is the candles and zodiac section. And it says you may use candles representing the energies of each of the signs of the zodiac. She used red, which is for Aries, the ram, okay? Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj use pink, which is Taurus, the bull. They always use pink, okay? Notice the colors that they wear. And she also did blue, which is for Libra, the scales. And we know Beyonce is a Libra. That's what she did tonight. Can y'all see how clear this is? See, I don't have to dig. I don't have to stretch anything. You see it exactly for what it is when your eyes are open. And so that's why she used the blue. And this is why she used the red right here. But I believe Jay-Z's birthday is December 10th or something like that. So I believe that the fire that she had all around her was symbolic of her relationship with Jay-Z. And it's here. So that you can't help but to see how clear this is. And then I'm going to show you all some more pictures from tonight for those of you who hadn't seen it. So let me tell you what the colors mean. When you wear and use these colors, it's going to invoke something in particular. So when you see them at award shows and you notice that they are wearing color-coded outfits, it is not by mistake. That is by design. They know that it is a ceremonial ritual happening, and they know what's required of them to be initiated to the next level. So they're going to wear the right colors that they're told to wear. Now, the color pink, which is what Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj wore, pink is suitable for rituals to restore self-esteem and for healing and emotional hurts. Well, we know Nicki Minaj did go through a very public relationship up and down with Safari. We know that Ariana Grande went through a very rough relationship with Big Sean. And so both of them needed this. It says it aids family and relationships. The last I heard, Nicki was saying she wanted to be a mother one day. So it makes sense that they would wear pink because this is what pink invokes, okay? Okay, so let me keep going. We're almost done. So I said to myself, the ritual is determined by the day of the week. So today's Sunday. Let's see what Sunday say. Sunday. is ruled by the sun. It creates spells this day associated with success, ambition, and power. That's all they talked about through the whole show. There was a young black lady with a green dress on. She was kind of like a heavy set girl, really cute girl. And she interviewed the celebrities, and I had never seen her before. All she kept talking about was success, her ambition, and power. And if you go back and watch the pre-show, you will see what I mean. Oh, and she had on a green dress. It says it is the day of individuality and independence. Now, when Rihanna went up there, they said that that's what Rihanna was known for, was her individuality and her independence. Drake said those exact words. I kid you not. It is also the day of new beginnings. It is a day of spirituality, healing, prosperity, and happiness, breaking through barriers and moving forward. The sun fosters personal empowerment. And so Kanye West and Kim were a big part of this also. And Puff Daddy was a big part of this. And actually, Puff Daddy at the very top of the show was talking with DJ Khaled, and he said, I want to thank MTV for giving me the opportunity to make money, to have success like this. Thank you, MTV. I thought that was strange, and that really stood out to me. So this is why they chose Sunday, and this is why they chose the certain celebrities that they chose to perform and come and present things. Oh, Mary J. Blige presented for Rihanna also, and it was a really big deal. And what I noticed was Mary J. Blige just applies for divorce. So she probably participated in this ceremony to try to get healing for dealing with the divorce and everything. To us that are Christians or came out of Christianity, grew up in church, we know this is wrong. But to them, this is just a system that you use to get the outcome that you want. They don't see right and wrong. You know, they don't see black and white. It just looks gray. Here's a scripture that I think is relevant. Galatians 3. And I didn't even pull this up when I was doing the research about the rituals. This was already open on my iPad, y'all. It says, "Oh, foolish Galatians." And you can see the time up here at 1:02 a.m. It's 2 a.m. So I screenshotted it so you all could see the time for yourself, so that you can see how God communicates with me. It was already open at 1 o'clock before I started this. And I screenshotted it so that y'all could see it. That's how God works. He will always confirm something to you 3 times for you to know that it's him. It says, "Oh, foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you that you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Jesus Christ has been openly set forth, crucified among you? This only would I learn of you. Receive you the Spirit by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? Are you so foolish, having begun in the Spirit, and are now you made perfect by the flesh? He therefore that ministers to you the Spirit and works miracles among you, does he it by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith?" And he's saying, look, why are you all trying to do stuff by your own works? Who has bewitched you into the things that you are doing, the way you think, the way you go throughout your day? And I have to say, y'all, they are trying to bewitch us. Every show that comes on TV, every song that plays on the radio, they are trying to bewitch us. So if you are noticing darkness coming into your life any kind of way, you might want to pull back from the TV, pull back from the media and the things that you are watching, so that you can rid yourself of all of those demonic energies. You may not have demonic possession. You might have possession, but most people just deal with a demonic attachment. So that's the leftover residual energy from a ritual that you didn't know was going on. Even if you don't know the ritual is going on, it still can affect you. And I would say, if you feel led to pray, and to pray that nothing has bound itself to you, please do that. You have to go by your spirit. And some people call it your gut. And if your gut is telling you that you should pray, you should pray. I hate that she has her daughter involved in this now. You can see how her daughter's dressed. She has a long train on. Look at the color she has on. Remember what pink was for. You can tell she's going to raise her daughter and teach her daughter how to do this. And she doesn't think it's a bad thing. I think that she probably would tell her daughter, when you're old enough, I'll tell you the whole truth. You know, if you want a good husband, this is what you do to get a good husband. You get this candle, you light it, you make this circle. You know, it don't sound bad on the surface. You know, this was her doing the performance. She went from looking like this, like an angel with angel wings, to this darkness and all black with fire all around her. I'm going to show that to you. Check that out. Now, if you all are commenting, I can't see it because what happens is it blocks it out. But pay attention to what people are saying. These are people's tweets that were live during the show. That's what's on their mind. Yes, that ass tonight. I swear she is God. Look at that, y'all. And while she was doing this performance, a big old sign popped up saying, God is God, I am not. But you see, people still refer to her as a god. So I don't know what her intention was behind saying that. But if you have a goddess that you have invoked in you, and her name is Sasha Fierce, to help you with your performances, and you're saying I'm not a god, you're being deceptive. That's witchcraft. Look how they talk. She killed it. I can't even sleep. Laugh out loud. Everything is about killing it and slaying it. Getting your makeup did now is called beating your face. Everything is so violent now. We can see how the darkness is beginning to affect us. Look at that. That was the last one I took. So I hope this was enlightening for you all. I hope that you learned something tonight. Make sure you check me out on Periscope. I jump on there sometimes and do live videos late at night. You know, I'm a thinker and I like to pray and wait till it's quiet, and my house is quiet this time of night. And I usually upload some really informative stuff. Thank you all so much for jumping on here so late at night with me. I love you all. And continue seeking truth. Continue seeking information. Do not let the media and the world and the church and the schools just feed your mind whatever they want your mind to have. You are required to feed your own mind and feed your spirit, man, so that you are strong enough for the very, very dark things that are about to come. We're going into some really dark, hard times. So be in prayer if you are not saved and you would like to receive Christ as your Savior, because He died so that we would not have to be perfect, so that by His death we would be covered and we would be righteous because we accept Him. So that means that He's going to take on all of your sins. He has already did that. All that's left for you to do is accept Him as your Messiah. It's simple. That's it. What harm could happen in you doing that? You know? All right. I love you all and good night. Please comment and check me out on Periscope.